Hey, my friends, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. Today, we are just going to have some fun and be artistic and creative and just go with the flow when it comes to these fun projects. And we are going to get started right away with a paintbrush. Yes, a paintbrush, you guys. I have been seeing these on Pinterest floating around, and I just wanted to pause. I wanted to just take a moment to just do something fun out of the box, something that like I didn't really have to think about and that I could have fun with it. And I think as creatives, like we get so wrapped up sometimes in wanting to do like the next best thing that we forget to just pause and take a moment and just like be free with our creativity. So I decided to go for it. So we're going to take, obviously, you can tell, a very used paintbrush of mine. And I am going to paint it with Farm Fresh on the front and the back. I did also put some of the Farm Fresh on the bristles of the brush. And then I left the metal part its original rustic color. I'm then going to take the Upcycles decoupage paper. This is from the spring release, and I do have this in stock. And I picked out this beautiful rectangle of like bluish green and knew it would be perfect. So I'm going to take my liquid patina, which is a decoupage medium. You could also use it to clear your projects. And I'm going to put a coat on the front to start off. I'm going to lay my decoupage paper right on top of there, and then I'm going to smooth it out. I'm going to make sure that's completely dry, and then I'm going to take my finger sander and go in downward motions and get all of that excess paper off. And this is where you guys just have fun and be creative with it. You could use decoupage paper, stencils, anything and everything. Then I take the liquid patina and I put a coat over the decoupage paper, and then I put it over all of the painted areas and even the metal area. So I had this mold that I made for a different project later in this video and didn't end up using it. So it was still pliable. I made it out of clay, and I was like, I'm gonna put this on the paintbrush and just, yeah, let's go with it. So once I knew it fit, I took my Type Bond Quick and Thick. I put that on the back of it, and I'm going to just flip it on around and then lay it on the paintbrush and then wrap those ends around the brush there. I'm going to grab Farm Fresh once again, and I'm going to paint the mold. Again, the clay is still wet. So next I take Bohemian Blue and I dip just a little bit on my brush and then spritz it with a water bottle so that it becomes watered down, and I get almost like two colors out of this. And this is where you guys, projects like this are so much fun because you're trying different things and you're having fun. That's it, bottom line. So after that, I'm going to take the Pennies from Heaven and I'm going to coat that mold just to bring out those details. It also kind of goes with the rest on the metal part, so it all worked out fabulously. After I'm done with that, I'm going to take all these little paper flowers. When I first started YouTube, a wonderful subscriber sent me all of these little mini paper flowers. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to use these. All the colors went with the decoupage paper. It just like worked out so well. So I'm going to do like a little bundle of them over here. And then I'm going to add some rhinestones that I've had forever, a pearl, and then I'm going to have the flowers kind of cascading upwards. I'm even going to put some down underneath the mold. And you guys, this was so much fun to make. And, I don't know if they're good for resell or anything. This was just something I wanted to do for me. And I love it. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I had fun playing with like the little parts and having fun trying different paint, and I hope you try it too. All right, this next one, we're going to be using a clipboard, and I will say that if you have a clipboard that has like the full metal clip on top, this process will be a lot easier. I did not have that. So I'm going to use my trimmings mold because I was not about to leave the like clip on top like it is. You can see it above the mold. So I am taking my DOS air dry clay and I am going to create a trimmings mold, and I'm going to just kind of cut that down to size to fit the clip at the top. Once I get that size, I'm going to go around, I'm going to say the rim, I don't know, of the top of the clip, and I am going to place my mold on there. And I'm going to let this set up for quite a while since the mold is only gripping on to that thin little outer layer. And then once that sets up, I'm going to take Anvil by JRV Cottage Colors. Now, one of you guys asked me what is the blackest black out of Anvil, Little Black Dress, and Black Velvet. And I believe I said Anvil, but now that I've used it for a second time, I will say Little Black Dress is going to be the blackest of blacks out of the collection. Anvil still to me has like a kind of like a charcoal undertone, just a tad bit. But I'm going to paint the front and the backs. The fronts and the backs. There's not two backs. There's only one back. I'm going to paint the front and the back. And then I'm also going to paint the mold. Now, I always prefer to paint the molds when they are wet. When you do this, it's going to help create less cracking in your mold. So again, 2 coats of this color. Then you guys, I created this stencil with my Cricut, and you know, sometimes we just have these visions and then they don't come out the way we think. So I got Golden Ticket and I started kind of like stenciling on there. And then as I did a couple of them, I was like, this kind of looks like a cheetah print or leopard. I don't know what print is what, you guys, but does it not? Like it was just, I couldn't get it out of my mind. I was like, that is not the look I was going for. So then I decided, you know what? I'm going to kind of like buff over that. The middle blotch, you'll see it. Just go with me, you guys, okay? Just follow along. I knew I was going to put a transfer over this. So the middle didn't concern me, and it all ended up working out. Okay, so now that that's dry, I'm going to take this beautiful transfer. I'm going to use the whole thing, and we are going to go ahead and adhere that. So you just push down with your little plastic stick that comes with your transfers, and then pull up at the same time. Once that is all adhered, you're going to burnish that on. And you guys, look at how all the colors go so stinking well together. I mean, this is beautiful. And then I didn't need to clear the liquid patina, the gold, or the black paint, but I do need to make sure that that transfer is sealed in. So I'm going to take my liquid patina, which has been my go-to lately because it creates a matte finish versus Big Top, which has a little bit of sheen. So we let that dry, and look at how gorgeous this turns out. So of course, somebody can totally use this clipboard, or it could just be an art piece for somebody. This would be beautiful for like somebody that has like a retail space to put paperwork on with like a gold little pin. But I love how it turned out, and it's more of like an art piece to me than I would say like a practical, like usable item. All right, for this one, we are going to use the, I think it's Verdigris mold. I have not used this one. It's part of the new, the spring line of IOD. I'm dusting the mold with cornstarch, and then again, I'm going to be using the DOS air dry clay. And oh my gosh, working with these bigger molds, they always stress me out because I'm like, I always like pull up the clay as I'm like trying to push it in. So it takes me a hot minute, but I get there, okay? Now I'm going to take this frame that I thrifted from Salvation Army for $3.99. I'm going to apply that Tight Bond Quick and Thick on the back, and then grab a paintbrush and make sure that I have that glue on every inch of this mold. I also make sure to wipe off the excess because I do not want that glue gushing out from underneath. I'm going to lay that on my frame, and you can see it has curves. So I'm going to push that down, not putting tons of pressure because I don't want to lose those details, but enough to make it form to the frame. I make a second one of the same exact mold, and I am going to create two pieces out of it. I wanted it to cascade up, and I wanted a little bit more down below. So we'll just grab the quick and thick again and put it on the top and put it on the bottom. Again, pressing to make sure that it forms to that frame. And then taking the little individual leaves that come in this mold, I thought it needed a little bit more right here on the corner. So I added two more. Okay, so now we're gonna mix our paint. Again, we're painting while that mold is wet. I'm going to take letterpress, and I mixed it with white swan, you guys, because at first I thought I wanted it darker, then I wanted it lighter. If you do like this color, just use gravel road. It's essentially the same color as what I created. And I'm going to put my salt wash in here. I'm going to go ahead and kind of paint that on using like brush strokes, and then sometimes I'm going to stipple in different sections, just giving it different textures all around the frame. Now, when I get to the mold, I am still stippling like around it, but once I get on top of it, I'm actually going to switch my paintbrush to a smaller one and essentially kind of like just paint on that salt wash mixture. I didn't want to stipple it on because I didn't want to lose any of the details in my wet mold. So this allowed me to get the coverage without having to push down. Now that it's dry, I am going to clear it with liquid patina, and I'm doing this because I wanted to use a darker wax, so I wanted to ensure that I can easily wipe off any excess that I wanted to. Once that's dry, I'm going to take black wax and clear wax. I learned this from, I think it's Trisha from Yellow House, Sweet Yellow House. Yellow House. You guys know. I think you know. Sorry if I messed that up. And I'm going to mix the two together. This helps move that black wax a little bit more. I wasn't fully committed to just using the black wax. So you can see I'm brushing that around more so the like outer frame, the inner frame, and then whatever is left on that brush, I am going to put on the like inside frame. Once I move to our mold, I'm going to put a heavier coat on the mold, and then once I get it where I want, then I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to wipe the excess off, and that's going to settle into all of the details. Now, once I put that black wax on, I was like, oh, I kind of want this a little brighter. So I grabbed the white wax and I just kind of rubbed that on the top. That way it was kind of like a bright highlight on top of the mold, and then all of those dark shadows are in the like crevices of the mold. And this turned out absolutely stunning. This is so beautiful. Again, a lot of the things in this video I feel like are more like pieces of art. I had fun. I was being creative. And I was just, doing whatever my heart desires. So I hope that it inspired you today, you guys. And as always, I appreciate you guys being here with me so very much. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you back here on Saturday. Hey, you guys, popping in to say hello. I'm sorry that I have not been making an appearance. Probably because this is the way look at this. I'm a mess and covered in dog hair and still wearing pajamas at like 10 in the morning. Yeah, your girl is a hot mess, okay? But I have an excuse. It's called pregnancy. and I am definitely at the uncomfortable stages of it. I am almost 30 weeks at this point. And for those of you that followed me, who have been with me for a while, then you probably remember with Montgomery, I had really bad sciatica issues, was going to the chiropractor all the time. And I was just miserable. Well, this time it didn't happen until I probably hit 20 weeks that like my sciatica started kicking in. And now it's like full force. It's all on the right side, and sleeping is like getting harder and harder. Like if I sleep on my right side, which is the side of the sciatica, and then I try to like turn back around, it is so painful. And then when I sleep, I'm a side sleeper, and I should be sleeping on my side. But when I go on to my left side, then like my right like leg just aches and aches and aches, and I just like cannot get comfortable. So, excuse me to say the least, I am like beyond tired. I'm hurting. And any time that I have, I am trying to get work done because I have to put videos out. So sometimes you might see that the videos are like super easy and I'm just painting things. So my apologies, but I'm just like doing the best that I can with the energy that I have. So thank you guys for watching my videos, for sticking with me, even though I have not been popping on. After this baby, I'm just like, I have dreams of like getting back in the gym and like having energy and being able to move the way I want, climbing like, you know, Montgomery's pop-up tent with her without like not being able to get back up. So thank you guys for hanging in with me, for watching my videos. Like I said, it's still pretty slow on YouTube right now. I appreciate so many of you in the Facebook group offered to just like run my videos in the background, and I appreciate that support so very much, you guys. I really, really do. You guys, I'm just like a mess. I'm over here like picking my eye. My nose is runny. Oh, it's a mess. It's all a mess. I hope all of you guys are doing well. I hope you're able to sit down this week and be a little creative. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I feel like sometimes we just need to pause and just be creative and kind of like let things go. I think as creatives, we're always like over analyzing things, thinking about the next project, looking at Pinterest, getting overwhelmed by ideas. You know, we see like all these creators on YouTube and we're like, oh, we want to do that. We want to do that. We want to do that. And sometimes I feel like we just need to like pause and sit down and just do something like out of the box, something that's like uber creative. And that's what I felt like I did with the paintbrush. Like that was so relaxing to just be able to sit down, not necessarily like think of like, oh, I'm creating a video or something, but like truly just like, I'm going to have fun with these little tiny flowers and these rhinestones. And if this turns out ugly, it turns out ugly. But like, I'm having fun like in this moment, just like creating it and having fun with the different elements of it. And I really hope you guys get the opportunity to do that this week, whether it be like with a paintbrush or just something that like you've been wanting to try but have been scared, and just sit down and just have fun with it. I think we forget to do that so very often. So let me know if there's something that like you have been wanting to try like that, and if you think that you'll be trying it anytime soon. Thank you guys. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe, like, and commenting really, really does help YouTube channels out, because it lets YouTube know that the audience is engaging with the video. And then they're like, ooh, people like this video. We're going to share it to other people with similar interests. So all the comments help. Feel free to like type out a sentence, but each word is a comment. I'm just kidding. That'd be crazy. But I appreciate you guys so very much. I hope you have a great week. And I will actually be back on Saturday with a collaboration with Erin from Lady Poe Designs. So look out for that one. Bye, you guys.